Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome back to our channel once again. There is something I've been telling you on this platform consistently. And allow me to repeat myself once again. Whenever you want to get the thinking or the position of William Samoei Arap Ruto, the President of the Republic of Kenya, on any particular matter, you don't need to pay close attention to what William Ruto is saying or doing. You just need to pay close attention to Oscar Sudi. Because Oscar Sudi speaks for the president. And that's why when Oscar Sudi gave Rigathi Gachagua 2 weeks, it was clear that Rigathi Gachagua's days as the deputy president of the Republic of Kenya were actually numbered. And I've always told you also that whenever you want to get the thinking of Raila Odinga on any particular matter, just pay very close attention to what Junet Mohammed is saying on that matter. Because Junet Mohammed speaks, in most cases, for Raila Odinga. For Uhuru Kenyatta, one man, Jeremiah Kioni, has been speaking for him. Let me ask you this simple question. Since the appointment of Professor Kithure Kindiki, have you ever seen Jeremiah Kioni issuing those hard-hitting statements? Have you ever seen Jeremiah Kioni issuing those hard-hitting statements? For me, no. What is he up to? What has changed? Ladies and gentlemen, in politics, nothing happens out of mere coincidence. Everything in politics is normally well planned, well scripted, and executed to achieve a specific political objective. Let us go to a tweet by Jeremiah Kioni. Because remember, last week, there was a major political event in Embu. Then after that event, Jeremiah Kioni made this tweet. Let me just get to Jeremiah Kioni's Twitter, official Twitter handle, the verified one. Jeremiah Kioni. Now, this is the official Twitter handle of Jeremiah Kioni. Let me go straight to that particular tweet. In that tweet, 1 day ago, this is what Jeremiah Kioni posted. This was the way to go from the beginning of this administration. Down there, you can see the photo there. A lot of drama would have been avoided. So he's talking of drama which would have been avoided if Rigathi, specifically, would have been engaging with the president. Because I'm seeing the president and Kindiki. Kindiki has replaced Rigathi. He's proceeding. All in all, we are. Okay? To my brother, listen to the tone. To my brother, Kindiki Kithure, kazi kwako. Wish you the very best. Yeah, the first comment there is by a gentleman called Colenius K. Rono, mtu wa Ruto. Colenius, sorry for that. Mtu wa Gideon, huyu ni mtu wa Gideon, right hand man wa Gideon. Rafiki yangu sana Colenius Rono. He's saying you are losing it. He's one of the people who have been supporting and have been standing next to Kioni as Kioni is issuing those hard-hitting statements. What has changed? And because in politics nothing happens out of mere coincidence, let me just give you some 2 cases here of recent happenings. One on that particular day. In Embu, something very interesting happened. That event in Embu was attended by the president himself, William Ruto, his deputy, Professor Kithure Kindiki, Uhuru Kenyatta, the former president, and Rigathi Gachagua, the former deputy president. Uhuru, Ruto, Kindiki were close to each other. They shared a podium, and as a matter of fact, they were able to greet each other. The organizers of the event, because nothing happens out of mere coincidence, decided to place Rigathi Gachagua's seat very far away from these guys, which means Rigathi Gachagua was stopped from interacting with Uhuru, with Ruto, and with Kindiki. Why do you think that happened? The fact is, even from the body language of Uhuru and Kindiki, you could tell that they were trying to send some coded message. And that's why we are asking whether there is some talks between Ruto and Uhuru Kenyatta. That's something which happened. Now, let us also look at something which happened yesterday. Yesterday, the Court of Appeal made a ruling on Jubilee Party. Remember, William Ruto tried to forcefully take control of Jubilee Party. Uhuru Kenyatta fought that. And because we know how our judiciary operates, we know how it operates. Yesterday, in their ruling, they actually upheld, right, that Uhuru Kenyatta and his team are the legitimate leadership, are the legitimate leaders of Jubilee Party. Which means Sabina Chege, Kanini Kega Group were thrown under the bus. That's a signal. Now, if you link that to the tweet by Rigathi Gachagua, you can tell something. And one of Uhuru Kenyatta's close ally, Pauline Njoroge, has been too friendly to Professor Kithure Kindiki since he took over. Which begs the question, is there a deal between William Ruto and Uhuru Kenyatta? That's exactly what I want us to analyze in this particular video. But before we do that, for those who are watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support. Because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. Ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, allow me to dive in. But again, before I dive in, allow me to also take this opportunity to introduce you guys to LemFi. LemFi is a mobile money app for users in the UK, Canada, and the United States of America to send money back to Kenya. They offer the best exchange rates, and the money will be delivered instantly into your M-Pesa account, Airtel Money account, and of course, if you want, directly into your bank account. You can use the link in the pinned comment to download the app. Ladies and gentlemen, is there a deal between William Ruto and Uhuru Kenyatta? Let me shock you again. If you have some popcorns, please drag them. Okay, let me also just add some hot water here as you drag your popcorns. Ladies and gentlemen, let me shock you. Just right now, I'm shocking you. Do you know a gentleman called Tony Gachoka? That ally of Uhuru Kenyatta and ally of Raila Odinga. There's this post he made. Let me take you to that post. Tony Gachoka. I'm not so sure whether this post, whether the account is Tony Gachoka's legitimate account, Twitter, but this message is actually being circulated, which means someone somewhere is using this tweet to test something, to test the ground. So let us help him test the ground. This is saying, is Uhuru joining Ruto? By Tony Gachoka on the 19th/11/2024. When Uhuru Kenyatta's succession matrix began, fourth President Kei chose to join with Raila's BBI to secure for Mount Kenya 1 man, 1 vote, 1 shilling division of revenue. From last month, listen to Tony Gachoka. I have heard that Uhuru is talking to Ruto with the condition being the removal of Gachagua and that the handshake choreographed for Embu backfired on them. You get? For those who followed that Embu event, just like I was trying to explain to you, that someone somewhere decided to bring Ruto, Rigathi, and Kindiki closer. Then Rigathi was placed there. So it was supposed to be a kind of handshake. Of course, the photos which were shared by people like Pauline Njoroge were actually kind of handshake photos. Tony, this post is proceeding. Of course, he's saying it backfired, of course, because maybe the rebellion from the ground. And I don't want to rule out the possibility that Rigathi Gachagua also got the information, and that's why he went there personally. And therefore, his presence probably escalated the noise there. He's proceeding. I want to be clear that over many years, I supported Raila Odinga and ODM party, never Jubilee, despite Uhuru being my friend and neighbor. I saw a tweet by Honorable Kioni suggesting happiness with William Ruto and Kindiki sharing a platform with Uhuru. I also saw Matiang'i, an ally of Mutai Kagwe, launch heavy politics, a move that could be reinforcement of Kindiki's attempt to wrestle back Mount Kenya and Matiang'i joining to spoil opposition votes later. So I know Kenyans take me seriously. When I tell Uhuru, keep off and stay clear of William Ruto and Raila Odinga, or Kenyans will do to you what Americans, Donald Trump, just did to deep state throughout the entire US. To Muhoho Kenyatta, I tell him it is not the size of the wave, but the motion of the ocean that moves the ship. To Kioni, don't become Kamotho and repeat yourself. Now, if you paid very close attention to the tone of this statement, it is clearly by Tony Gachoka. And a lot of things can actually be picked from that particular tweet. Ladies and gentlemen, for me, if you were to ask me, I always believe that in politics, nothing happens out of mere coincidence. I want to agree with Tony Gachoka that the event in Meru, sorry, not Meru really, but in Embu, was designed to achieve specific political objectives. Probably those objectives were never achieved. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to give you my thoughts why Uhuru might actually decide to join hands with William Samoei Arap Ruto. Before we do that again, I also want to take this opportunity to thank the following people. You are seeing their names on the screen there for the coffee which they sent to me earlier today. It goes a long way in supporting this channel. You can also do the same using the numbers you are seeing on your screen. A cup of coffee only goes for 200 shillings, but you can always do more. Ladies and gentlemen, why do you think Uhuru Kenyatta would join hands with William Ruto? Number one, if it's true, then Uhuru Kenyatta is planning serious revenge on Rigathi Gachagua and also on the allies of Uhuru and also all the allies of William Samoei Arap Ruto who ganged up against him in 2022. Rigathi Gachagua led serious onslaught against Uhuru Kenyatta to an extent that even at some point became personal with Uhuru Kenyatta. I've always doubted whether Uhuru forgave him. But of course, in politics, we have only two constants: interest and betrayal. Anytime their interests would converge, they will work together. But I think if this is true, then Uhuru Kenyatta is revenging. And by joining William Ruto, because William Ruto is currently in a situation where he has lost the mountain is leaning towards Uhuru. So if you were to bring Uhuru Kenyatta to his side, the mountain is going to be confused, something like that. Number two, there's something which Babu Wino used to tell Kenyans, that Uhuru Kenyatta played Raila Odinga. Someone jokingly told me that, Lee, if Uhuru Kenyatta were to join Ruto, it simply means, I think I saw that statement here. Someone made that statement. Let me just share with you that statement. Someone, I think, just made that statement here, that UDA politicians hijacked a girl Toto from the husband. And that's why we are seeing the divorce. Where the UDA politicians, that is Rigathi and William Ruto's allies from the mountain, hijacked William Ruto, who is the girl Toto, from Uhuru Kenyatta, the husband. Now, the husband is going for the girl Toto. So I was telling you that Babu Wino stated something about the long con. Okay? If this is true, then that was the game from the onset. Number three, I'm also looking at it as part of political negotiations. You know, Uhuru Kenyatta is a former president. Of course, it's a business, he has interest, which can only be served by the government. William Ruto is also the president. He has found it very rough operating with the kind of environment minus the former president, minus Raila Odinga. So he's reaching out to them. So these guys are making some political settlements behind the scenes, so that Uhuru Kenyatta and his businesses will be, you know, Ruto, just political negotiations. In my view, that is what is happening. And there is also the Raila factor. Let me tell you something. Before Raila Odinga nominated the 4 experts, he delayed a bit, because initially Raila Odinga had negotiated for 11 slots. Some slots were supposed to go to Jubilee. Some slots were supposed to go to Wiper. They refused. So which means Raila Odinga really wants to go or to support this government with Uhuru. At some point, Raila Odinga even revealed to Kenyans, for those who remember, yeah, that it is Uhuru who sent him to Ruto, if you remember. So maybe that factor. And of course, maybe Uhuru Kenyatta is also making tactical retreat. Sometimes you have to make those tactical retreats so that when you decide that it's time now to fire, then you fire without missing the target. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what you think. If you've enjoyed the video up to that stage, please let me know in the comment section. Until next time, this is Lee Makwiny. Bye-bye.